It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we'll get a look at this team's superstar running back. He should be a busy man out of the backfield. We're just moments away from the action on Thursday night.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. On the other side of the field for our visitors here, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. On the ground with a rookie from Auburn. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And on now is the punter. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their 9th-year quarterback.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd.
Well, the very first thing they told us, Charles, was we need to apply pressure early, and I would call that early pressure a nice sack to start the game.
And on the other sideline, I just have this image in my mind of the head coach on the headset with the offensive coordinator asking him if that's exactly what he saw in his mind when he called that play. And if so, is it going to be like this all day? That's a tough one right there.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line.
3rd and 19.
He'll look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38.
They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
From the 20, here's a 2nd and 4.
On play action, they'll throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll make it 2nd down. They're going to look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Here we go now on 1st and goal.
They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there.
With his 6th rushing touchdown on the year.
And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead.
So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look.
Now the current playoff picture, and you can see they are one of those 3 wild card teams, at least for the moment, but they have not clinched that spot, Charles. And look, their message has been clear. We're keeping our foot on the gas to the very end.
And how about the theater and the drama that's involved, partner? The best part, we've got a front row seat to it all. And I think this is obviously the ultimate goal when they added a 7 seed to the playoffs back in 2020. More drama, more teams in it late in the season, and more importance on games like this.
Ball start, offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. Give him 16 yards on the play. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early.
Ball start, offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll look to throw. And that's incomplete.
When you look at this defense, they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Buying time to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10.
They'll try and start this drive in the air.
And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Leonard. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that will be incomplete.
But he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. Back to throw here. And he's got his man on the out route. And he goes out right around the 39. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And that's going to make it 4th down. And they bring their punter out there now as he's on to kick it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The offense back out there at the line ready for their next drive.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football.
From the 21, here's 2nd and 6.
As they've got it as we resume action. He finds his man, complete. It's Leonard. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
A gain of 9 yards. Result is a 1st down.
Back to throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Back to throw again. He comes back with one complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Encroachment. Defense.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. They'll look to throw again. And he fires one incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced
Automatic
error.
first
Stay
down.
alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense, 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground.
Down to the 42, 2nd down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory.
False start. Offense.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. He'll drop to throw.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Now they'll run on the draw. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. So they bring out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down.
And 7 at the 39-yard line.
Now a handoff running through the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
They'll drop to throw.
And that is dropped. Oh, that could have been a near certain 6 points. He was all alone, but he could not look it in. My, oh, my.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he goes down, but not before getting us inside the 25. A big third down pickup of 20 yards.
So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
They'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. The offense on third down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll set up to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, this can happen when you get man coverage on a tight end. This is a nice route. He's just going to run a corner to the left side and find some open space. That's asking a lot to make a linebacker run with him. And this ball's on the money as they pick up a 1st down.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack.
Taken down at the 47-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
47 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. He finds his man, complete. It's Leonard. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
Encroachment, defense.
So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it.
Still third down.
Even after the penalty, still a full 7 yards to go on third down. He'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Leonard. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And his kick here is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. This offense back to work now late in this first half. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive.
They'll come out throwing here on first down.
And that one going to be off target and incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
This time they stay on the ground. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
One final go for this offense here in this first half. And leading 10-7, and they may just want to get this to the locker room.
And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. And touchdown. A big play there as the first half is winding down. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. What I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half, and that'll give us momentum going into the second half. Give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown.
This taken in right around the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The home team's offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. Two-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives, try and slow things down a little bit.
He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously, more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
Following the penalty, they'll go back to the run game.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. From the 42-yard line, here's a 2nd down and 9.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
The visitors' offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And you look at his numbers as a pass catcher in this one. They've lined him up in different spots, shifted him around, and made him a real weapon in the passing game.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. He gets away from one. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward.
Still 2nd down.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on 2nd down. And this is incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I guess give him credit for at least getting back to the line of scrimmage, Charles, because he could have easily lost a couple there.
He showed a lot of fight and grit on that run, and it's the type of play that coaches aren't going to wait for film session to praise. They're going to go to every position and say, that's the kind of effort we need from all of you.
And they'll send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Here's a 2nd and 7.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. He'll they'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. In motion goes the tight end. Back to throw now on 1st down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And he's got some space here.
Down the right sideline.
And finally down at the 9-yard line.
82 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues.
He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through, he's shredding them.
He'll look to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 2nd and goal from the 1.
At the 1-yard line.
Now back to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And his guys are able to make this a close game again.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So the drive there took 6 plays. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. But now this offense comes back out onto the field. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Across the 30 to the 31-yard line.
He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Someone moved, flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return.
The home team's offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the 3rd quarter.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. Here's a 2nd down and 7 from the 37.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
He's going to try and do this himself.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
A loss of 2 brings up 3rd and 10.
Forced out to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
And on now is the punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Now a handoff looking right. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Here's 3rd and 10.
In trouble, and he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And it's fielded at the 34. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. And that is incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. So a change of possession here on the punt.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Now a toss here, short side. Oh, nice move. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Give him 4 yards there on the 1st down keeper.
2nd down at 6 now from the 42.
out of the gun. They'll look to throw. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. The offense on third down tonight, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
107 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's got Lewis.
Third and 5.
They're going to look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And I know that one didn't work out the way they thought, but I don't think it was a bad time to call this play. You're thinking on 3rd down, you might possibly see some pressure. You might see a blitz. So they tried to set up the screen, but that one was well read, and they stopped them for no gain.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and
8. Looking to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Leonard. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. They'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Again, he'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
From the 31, here's second down at a yard.
Back to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. That one goes for 24 yards. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Back to throw again. And it's caught. Touchdown. From 6 yards away as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Our home team, 14.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it's second down. Throws right side, and that's complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
They'll look to throw again. That is caught by Stewart. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 22 yards there, a first down. They'll drop to throw.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on. Second and 10.
Back to throw here. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
Well, the elements, the crowd, the situation, this is NFL football at its best. Here's third down.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. He'll drop to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. From 4 yards out. And his guys have made this a 1-score game now. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. So we'll see the onside kick here right out of the 2-minute warning. And the hands team does its job. They're able to secure it. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3-and-out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here.
And he is going to have a 1st down here, and that should be the one that seals a victory.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here, when they're taking a knee, is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win, needed one desperately.
So no shortage of offense in this game, but a very clean game too, Charles. Each side got its points, but they did so without committing a single turnover.
That's so true, and it certainly felt like NFL football at its finest, right? You talk about the highest level from both of these offenses. Neither one of them afraid of taking risks, and both of them aggressively pushing it downfield. I did like, Brandon, how smart they were about going about their business, though. They were high-flying, but they took care of the ball.
Yeah, they did, and just keeping it clean in a game like this with all these points, you don't see that very often, even at the highest level. Job well done by both sides.
So for our visitors, their very slim playoff hopes remain as they